boys and girls. I'm back again with another Poetry Friday. And this week I'm going to read Shel Silverstein's A Light in the Attic. I have a couple poems picked out from this one. I hope you enjoy them. First one I have is Rock and Roll Band. Did you ever pretend you were in a rock and roll band with your friends? Or maybe you're learning to play an instrument like a guitar or the piano, and you can be in a real band with your friends. Okay, let's see. If we were a rock and roll band, we'd travel all over the land. We'd play and we'd sing and we'd wear spangly things if we were a rock and roll band. If we were a rock and roll band and we were up there on the stand, the people would hear us and love us and cheer us. Hooray for that rock and roll band. If we were a rock and roll band, then we'd have a million fans. We'd giggle and laugh and sign autographs if we were a rock and roll band. If we were a rock and roll band, the people would all kiss our hands. We would be millionaires and have extra long hair if we were a rock and roll band. But we ain't no rock and roll band. We're just 7 kids in the sand with homemade guitars and pails and jars and drums and potato chip cans. Just 7 kids in the sand, talking and waving our hands and dreaming and thinking, oh, wouldn't it be grand if we were a rock and roll band? How many of you want to be in a rock band, or maybe you're rappers and you dream of doing that someday? Wouldn't that be fun? So that's the first poem I have picked out for you. It's fun to dream about what you want to be when you grow up. This next one I thought was funny. It's called Fancy Dive. How many of you are thinking about going to the pool this summer and you like diving off the diving board? The fanciest dive that ever was dove was done by Melissa of Coconut Grove. She bounced on the board and flew in the air with a twist of her head and a twirl of her hair. She did 34 jackknives, backflipped and spun, quadruple gainered and reached for the sun, and then somersaulted 9 times and a quarter, and looked down and saw that the pool had no water. Uh-oh. Look at her face on there. She's like, ah! Okay. This next one. How many of you like dragons? I know you take those dragon books out. This is The Dragon of Grindley. I'm the dragon of Grindley Grun. I breathe fire as hot as the sun. When a knight comes to fight, I just toast him on sight like a hot, crispy cinnamon bun. When I see a fair damsel go by, I just sigh a fiery sigh. And she's baked like a tater. I think of her later with a romantic tear in my eye. I'm the dragon of Grindley Grun, but my lunches aren't very much fun, for I like my damsels medium rare, and they always come out well done. So when he breathes that fire, he does it a little too heavily, and he cooks his damsels too much. Oh my. Okay. How many of you are superstitious? You don't like Friday the 13th, or walking under a ladder, or opening an umbrella in the house, or stepping on a crack. This next one is called Superstitious. If you cross your fingers, let's say. If you are superstitious, you'll never step on a crack. When you see a ladder, you will never walk beneath it. And if you ever spill some salt, you'll throw some behind your back. And carry round a rabbit's foot just in case you need it. You'll pick up any pin that you find lying on the ground And never, never, ever throw your hat upon the bed or open an umbrella when you are in the house. You'll bite your tongue each time you say a thing you shouldn't have said. You'll hold your breath and cross your fingers walking by a graveyard. And number 13's never going to do you any good. Black cats will all look vicious if you're superstitious. But I'm not superstitious. Knock on wood. I knock on wood a lot. That's one thing I do. Sometimes we're superstitious, but the one thing teachers are always superstitious about is a full moon. And a full moon on a Friday the 13th, we always say you kiddos are crazy at school. That's one thing teachers are superstitious about. All right. Here's the last one I have for you, and it's a librarian one. It's called Overdues. Overdues. What do I do? What do I do? This library book is 42 years overdue. I admit that it's mine, but I can't pay the fine. Should I turn it in or hide it again? What do I do? What do I do? Well, that brings up a point. A lot of you 4th and 5th graders have library books at home, and we need to get them back. We've got a lot of books out, I'm sure. And so we're trying to figure out a way of what do we do? How do we get these library books back? And we're thinking about that right now, that we might put a box out. We're not quite sure. What do we do? How do we get these library books back? If you guys have ideas, dojo me and let me know. I'm going to be at school cleaning out the library, not next week, but the week after that. So maybe I'll put a box outside the school and you can come by and drop your books off. That might be an idea. I will let you guys know for sure if we come up with an idea to get all these nice library books back if you have them at home. Okay, guys? Because we really want to get our books back for the kids who are still going to be at Ritter and want to read those library books. Okay? So if you have library books at home, get them out and put them aside and think about how you can get them back to school. Okay? Love you guys, and I will read you another book next week. Okay, hugs. Bye-bye.